Greetings. We are His Imperial Majesty Ahosu Agelo Bagan, Abovi the First. Aino is a more appropriate term in the Aja language, which is called Egbe, for a term not really equivalent, but the closest you get to His Imperial Majesty. We want to speak real briefly on the concept of Egbe. A friend of ours asked us earlier, because they know, many people know that I'm a former fraternity member, left on my own free will, wasn't kicked out the fraternity or anything like that. I refuse to wear Greek letters anymore. I'm not a Greek, I'm an African. I can't be saying that I'm an African and then I'm wearing Greek letters. It's just, that's for me, And the other people, I got friends that are still in there, but they're African-centered. They don't see a conflict in that, but I'm just speaking for me. So my friend, she asked me, are there any African fraternities? Because I think I made a statement that was kind of critical of black fraternities and sororities, probably something about wearing Greek letters, as I just mentioned. In the Aja and the Yoruba people, the Aja people are what many people call the phone people, right? They are found in extreme southwest of Nigeria, all through southern to mid Benin, the country, Benin Republic, Togo, and a good part of Ghana, So collectively they're called the Aja people. The phone people, F-O-N, are just a subgroup of the overall Aja people. And of course many know about the Yoruba people who primarily occupy southwest Nigeria. Many of them are in Benin. And of course many of their descendants, just like many Aja descendants, came over here. Many of the Aja came to Haiti. A lot of Yoruba came to Haiti, which is Haiti. And in the rest of the United States, many Aja went to Brazil, and that's where you get candomblé, the candomblé African tradition, which is basically Vodun. So there's a word that is used in common between the two cultures, Aja and the Yoruba, called Egbe. And Egbe means society, those that are part of a like-minded, doing society, right? You have different kind of Egbes, right? Because let's take Alpha Phi Alpha, aka Zeta Phi Beta, Iota, Omega, all of the historically black frats and sororities. They are really Egbes. They're not African per se, but these are Egbes. This is what we're talking. This concept goes way back, of course, to our original culture before we were wearing Greek letters and worshiping foreign gods, right? So now I'm not encouraging alphas and AKAs to start saying, hey, I'm part of Egbe Alpha, Phi Alpha and all that. No, just keep let's make sure we keep these foreign, these oppositional cultures separate from each other. Keep the African where the African lane is, keep the Greek Europeanized lane where it is, Don't mix them. But so the answer to her question, and some people have asked this question before, is yes, we do have what in their mind what they're saying is fraternities and sororities, but they're more Egbe. So you have Egbe for an age group, right? You have an age group Egbe, right? Boys and girls in an age group Egbe, right? But then that's broken down into the girls having their own Egbe up until a certain age, and the boys having their own Egbe up until a certain age, right? You have Egbes based on your initiation, what you're initiated to. So, for instance, one of my initiations is to Ifa. I am a Babalawo and a Bokono in the Vodun tradition, right? So that automatically makes me part of Egbe Ifa, right? So all of now I don't have to like everybody in that Egbe, just because it's automatic. I don't have to deal with everybody, because we don't deal with most of the degenerates in the Isheshe tradition anyway. And not everybody in Isheshe is degenerate, but it's becoming a very degenerate tradition. It has become. Initiation, if you're initiated to the priesthood of Shango, now you're part of Egbe Shango, right? So like when we have celebrations, the different Egbes will go out and dance with one another, dance for the deity, right? So if the music for Ifa is being played, or Shango, or Oshun, or Batala, or Babaluaye, Aido Wedo, Dangbe, when that music comes on, that is a signal to Egbe members, meaning the initiates of that deity, to come out and start to dance. So they all dance as an Egbe, and most time they're dressed very similar also. Just like the AKAs, the Alphas, you know, they got their colors, right? And, you know, that kind of thing. So, do we have fraternities and sororities? Not exactly like that, but we do have society-based organizations called Egbe, right? These Egbes are expected to not only to do things in the community, excuse me, but to help one another, just like an AKA is expected to help another AKA. But at the same time, she is not taught to keep her charity just amongst AKA. Well, that's the same thing with our various Egbes. We have work Egbes. Those are called Dokwe. And the work Egbe is led by a person called the Dokwe Gan, right? The chief of the Dokwe, right? And that is mainly a man's society. They're responsible for building projects and stuff like that. Somebody want to get a house built. Now, we're talking about traditional Africa now, right? Somebody needs their house repaired, or a temple needs to be repaired for one of the deities or something like that, you know, upkeep or whatever. That's the responsibility of the Dokwe, led by the Dokwe Gan. So Dokwe is like an Egbe. It is an Egbe. We think that should cover it. That should break down. If anybody have any questions, we can be reached at info@ganlodo.com, GANLODO. Our publications are at restorationhealing.com. The name of that website is Kilombo Restoration and Healing. And just type in Ganlodo Maroon Monarchy for our YouTube channel, which all of this information is in the description area, because we've decided to go ahead and put this on YouTube, because this may help other people out. Now, a couple of things we want to say before we sign out. Black Greek letter fraternities and sororities are part of what is called a Pan-Hellenic Council. Now, I know a lot of you are not thinking about it like this, but let's rephrase that, right? Let's not rephrase it, but let's look at this from another angle, right? You've heard people say they are Pan-African, right? Pan means to be for or pro. So Pan-African, pro-African. Pan-Hellenic, pro-Greek. You don't look like a Greek. Now, I know white people infiltrating Alpha Phi Alpha and all the other fraternities and sororities or whatnot, but I'm talking to the black inheritors of these organizations. You're not Greek. You ain't 9 out of 10, even if you're mixed, you ain't got no Greek blood. Most of you anyway, you know. But if you do got Greek blood, you bet you don't look Greek, you know. So you got to think about the power of the word, right? Oro Ashe, Orobara in Yoruba, right? Glaho in the Aja language, right? The power of the word, right? Word power. So you got to think about what you're putting out there, because a lot of us don't, you know, we think it's not that big of a deal, but when you are repeating that, what does that do to the power of your ancestral line? Some may not understand that, and we can, once again, you can contact us and we can discuss it more. But yeah, Pan-Hellenic Council, you know, and that's a way for the Yovo, the European, to make sure they keep check of you. They keep an eye on you. Alphas and Omegas and Iotas and Kappas, Sigmas, AKAs, Deltas, and so on. You see? You got to be part of the Pan-Hellenic Council to be legit. Where's the sovereignty in that? You see? Think about it now. This is not, don't get mad, don't get in your feelings. Think about this from an African perspective. That's all I'm trying to say. So, those are our words on that. Another thing, right quick, we want to say, don't always try to look for an equivalent in African culture for something in European culture. We don't have to have fraternities and sororities. We don't have to have We've had people ask us, well, what is your Bible? We don't have to have that. We are the oldest people on this earth. They needed that. They needed, but we have many, many teachings, proverbial teachings, esoteric teachings, don't get us wrong. But that Bible, Christian Bible came into existence because they needed something like that, you know. And it's really diabolical if you read it correctly, you know. So don't always look for equivalent. You know, hey, what's the African version of that? No, Africa is Africa, Europe is Europe, India is India, kata wa kata. So we say to all our supporters, of course, Odigba. Odigba means until the next time, the next period. Odabo in the Yoruba language means goodbye. It's kind of it's like you're saying goodbye to someone that you're not sure you'll see again, or you don't want to see again. So to all the enemies of Gunlodo and the enemies of Maroonage and the enemies of black nationalism, we say Odabo, Jack.